It just feels like someone is stabbing you with a sharp knife over and over.
18-year-old Jonavin is describing the pain of living with sickle cell disease.
It's a blood disease. So it's like half of my blood cells are like crescent moons. They get stuck in like the valves. It just clots up and then causes pancreases.
In his body, he's actually got decreased blood flow to whatever area is in pain. Lay back for me.
Jonavin's hematologist, Dr. Jennifer Ham, explains there are many complications for those who have the blood disorder.
That's the unfortunate part of sickle cell disease, is that can happen wherever and whenever. And so it's very unpredictable. And sometimes it's more than pain. Sometimes you can have strokes, you can have severe lung disease.
I gotta stay at the hospital maybe for like a week or 2 weeks. Sometimes with the long drive, it's a lot.
A lot of doctor's visits, a lot of time at East Tennessee Children's Hospital, and a lot of time away from school.
It affects me. Everybody asks, when I'm because I'm tall, and I'm like, you play football, basketball? I'm like, no. And that's what I always just wanted to play football. That's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to get out of school and just go to college and stuff.
Jonavin was diagnosed at 9 months old. Since then, Children's Hospital has become like a second home for him and his family.
The doctors are nice and they help you. I mean, you always got to get an IV. That's not the best part, but it helps with the sickle cell when you're in a crisis. So.
A child with sickle cell disease inherits it from parents who each have the sickle cell trait. The only known cure is a bone marrow or stem cell transplant.
A bone marrow transplant, it's not necessarily a new process. It has become more and more widely used if you have sickle cell disease, but you have to have the right conditions to make the risk of the transplant itself worth the chance of a cure. Jonavin is fortunate enough to have a sibling that fully matches him, but yet doesn't have sickle cell disease. And so he has a good chance to get through that process with minimal risk and at work.
Jonavin will receive his sister's bone marrow this month, giving him hope for a pain-free future.
I'm hoping this transplant goes really well, because we've been waiting on this day forever.
But even for those who may not have had that chance, Dr. Ham says there's a lot of hope in the fight against sickle cell disease.
There are several medications just coming out of clinical trials that are shown to be beneficial. Most of those, again, just kind of mitigate the disease. They don't cure. But there are at least 2 gene therapy trials ongoing right now in the adult world that are very, very promising, that offer cure.
Jonavin views his transplant as an opportunity to say goodbye to sickle cell disease forever.
It's going to be different. I can actually go out in the cold and all that, and then I can actually work, because I always wanted to get a job, get my license and all that.
Preferred by kids, trusted by parents, staffed by experts. Not just a hospital, Children's Hospital.